There are some big changes to the Drunken Peasants Patreon that all DP fans should be aware of.
First of all, we now have a $1 perk that gives you access to our patrons-only feed. See exclusive photos and get behind-the-scenes access to the peasants, all for only $12 a year.
The $5 perk, as always, gives you access to our monthly private show. It's a whole other episode of DP just for you.
The $10 perk is DP commentary on a film, TV series, or video game every month. Past examples of commentaries include Troll 2, Masters of the Universe, and the unreleased Fantastic Four movie from the 90s.
The DP Discord Smoke Sesh has gone down from $50 to $25. You can hang out with the peasants and chat them up on Discord.
For $50, you get your name immortalized by DP on air once a month, and you get a free pass to access DP on demand.
For $75, DP will shill your product, service, or YouTube channel on the show live. It's absolutely insane for a show our size to sell advertising this cheap, and slots are limited, so get at it.
For $100, you get to come on the show and join us for the segment of your choice. And remember, all patrons of $5 and up are eligible to win the green ticket, a chance to hang out with the peasants and be on the show live in studio. Experience the magic of stoner degenerates watching videos live and in person. You must be 21 or older to win.
You should also know about new goals, like the 48-hour show, a US tour, and even a DP movie. For more information, check out patreon.com/DP.
Welcome to the Drunken Peasants Podcast. This podcast is made possible by the support of viewers like you. You can support this podcast on Patreon by using the Amazon links in our description section to do your shopping, by signing up for Loot Crate using our official link, or by contributing via Super Chat if you're watching us live. If you have a video or suggestion for the Drunken Peasants, please label it clearly and send it to the Drunken Peasants Facebook inbox. You may also send fan art and pictures of you wearing or sporting our merchandise. Please do not send personal messages, as these will be deleted unread. Thank you for supporting the show. And with all that shit out of the way, here is the Drunken Peasants Podcast. Cast.
Coming to you live from the frigid armpit of America, this is the Drunken Peasants Podcast with Ben and TJ, bringing you opinions of the news from an altered perspective.
Fuck it! Hey man, you got a joint? No, not on me, man.
I don't have facts to back this up.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
What the fuck you talking about, atheist? It's okay.
You're nothing, TJ. You're garbage.
I just want to be liked.
You're garbage.
And now, here are your hosts, Ben and TJ.
We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Drunken Peasants Podcast, episode 398. And I'm joined by PaulsEgo, MundaneMatt, and the Armoured Skeptic. Yes.
Smoke weed every day.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us here. Really quick before we get into the show, just want to remind everyone, DP On Demand, link in the description. We have the first episode of Ask the Kirks. We have the newest episode of Role Play with Paul the Ball. That was just released today. Join it. Link in the description. 15% off. Get some new content. And also some other new stuff will be released there shortly. Make sure you're subscribed. You get unsubscribed from us automatically from YouTube because they're so nice. Check us out on Twitch because we're streaming there live. Follow us there because they'll actually alert you when we're streaming. And with that out of the way, we can keep it going. So, Paul, how's it going? Man, you've been on here 3 shows in a row, I think, now.
Yeah, it just worked out that way this time. So, yeah, I'm doing good, man. I'm feeling a little nervous being in the room with such a real good-looking Persian dude. He's like, if there's ever like a sequel to that Prince of Persia video game and they don't cast like Skeptic and Shu in the lead roles, then it's just they're doing a disservice to the people.
Are you actually Persian?
Me? No, I'm as white as a person can be. I'm German and English heritage.
Yeah, me too.
Why are you ashamed of your Persian heritage, and why are you hiding it behind this whiteness?
I'm not ashamed. I'll fight for the Persians. If the Persian Empire comes back, I'll be on their side. No problem.
Like, who wouldn't? They've got a giant dude with nipple rings leading them. How do you fight that?
With
The world's first tranny.
Big ass magnet. That's how you do it.
Yeah, you can't fight the nipple rings. They deflect everything. So I was just talking earlier because Greg did his first face reveal on our show.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. Yeah, first and only time I was on the show before was the first time I showed my face officially online. Yeah, that was a big deal. That was a big deal.
And
it's quite the scoop. Quite the scoop for your little show, right?
You know what also was weird? You know what also was weird about that show? Because at the time I didn't show my face, and I accidentally revealed my face during that show.
Oh,
So,
two
there were-
face reveals.
Yeah, there were.
Goes down to the history books.
Yeah, we tried to cover it up, but we couldn't. It was everywhere. And then they started pasting my face over someone stalking Anita because the whole Anita thing happened with me. So.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that was
that
you,
was
dude.
great.
That was you.
Yeah, it was me.
Hey, at least she didn't call security on you. I can say
No.
she's done that for me.
There was no security there. There was no security there. I was already there playing board games. She showed up. I'm like, holy fuck. How did this happen? Like, what was this roll of the dice that Anita Sarkeesian is now walking in? And then, she sat behind me and I took a selfie. And then, next thing you know, I'm a rapist. So there you go.
Armored shekels. Oh boy. Our
Armored
chat
shekels.
is just wonderful here. I love you, chat.
Are they saying he's a secret Jew just like the rest of us?
I think that's what that means. Yeah, when they put your name in the triple brackets, it means that you're hiding some Jew.
Yeah, the triple parentheses is an accusation of Judaism. I assure you, there's none in my family.
Well, we're all internet personalities. Secretly, we're all Jewish. That's just what they want to say. You know?
Yeah, we're part of the media.
Yeah.
Well, I took a DNA test and I found out I'm 1.1% Jewish.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of which, my next video I'm doing on Skeptic, I'm doing a 23andMe and an Ancestry.com swab to see what I am. So that's going to be fun.
I did both. I actually did both too, and my outcomes were actually different. Very similar, but different. Because Ancestry is more focused on where your ancestors came from, and 23andMe is more about your genetic makeup and what illnesses you're likely to be a carrier of and that kind of stuff. So, oh my God.
Yeah, it has a health, like a bigger health. Oh wow, that's impressive. Holy
Mr.
shit.
Naughty yeah, no, he does it every time. He wants, you know what? I want Paul to never put his dick on Pornhub because we get paid every time he doesn't do it.
That would be unethical. I've told Mr. Naughty Priest that there is a reserve for seeing my dick. I have not revealed that reserve, so he has to keep donating until he meets it. That's all there is to it.
And what is it? What's the amount?
I can't tell you. You have to talk to my lawyer Jacob Rosenthal about that.
Jacob Rosenthal. All right. Let's see what we've got here. Oh, Paul.
Time to learn something.
So, as most of you remember, several months ago, someone made a video about us versus Tommy Sotomayor and said at least Tommy Sotomayor gives information. So now we have a segment where we give you information, and it's just a random article from Wikipedia. What do we have? Higher education in British Columbia. Take it away, Paul. This is interesting.
Let's see. Higher education in British Columbia is delivered by 25 publicly funded institutions that are composed of 11 universities, 11 colleges, and 3 institutes. This is in addition to 3 private universities, 5 private colleges, and 6 theological colleges. There's also an extensive number of private career institutes and colleges. Wow. That's a lot of people dipping their hands into the education pot up there in British Columbia.
Yeah, the only time I've been to British Columbia, I just got really stoned. And that's all that really happened there. But that's what happens.
There's a lot of theological colleges there. That's a little frightening.
Yeah.
A lot of religion in British Columbia. Fucking Canadians.
British Columbia was the center for the Canadian Holocaust, the lesser known Holocaust up where they tried to reform the natives. And
Really?
the Catholic Church has at the time was very powerful in British Columbia, and there's still a little bit of residual tension because of theological influence up in British Columbia. Yeah.
Once again, like the Canadians just don't know how things work. Like when you're gonna like completely like invade an indigenous space, you murder them to the man, dude. You completely drive them out. You don't try and reform them and shit. Just turns into a mess.
Yeah, that's why I'm surprised that they don't celebrate Columbus Day. They just make it Thanksgiving up there, Paul.
Really?
Like, yeah.
It's actually the other way around. It was that
you
made
hear this?
Thanksgiving Columbus Day.
Oh, you hear this?
Here comes a Canadian defender.
Now we never celebrated Columbus Day here because Columbus never came to Canada.
He didn't come to America either.
The first people, the first Europeans in Canada were the Vikings. Way before
in Newfoundland.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So
the Vikings had a scrying stone that they watched Christopher Columbus's journey through. That's how they knew how to get there first. Columbus discovered the new world, dude. Are you gonna tell me differently?
Yeah.
I've actually met people from like Newfoundland and Labrador that sound like they almost sound like they're Irish. They have like Irish accents.
That is their heritage, is Irish, Scottish, and their accent now is even Canadians have trouble understanding them because their accent is so thick. It's way thicker than anything from like Louisiana or like way down south. It's very hard to understand if you've never heard it before.
Look at all this shit we learned about Canada tonight, guys. Look at this shit.
Can we talk about a better country now?
Yes, America.
America. All right, so basically, anyone who hasn't seen this before, we're gonna guess if this person is trolling or not. And here it is. Is this a troll or not?
I am dying to let you know.
Hold on. Let me skip this.
Hey there, I'm Savannah. Today I'm gonna teach you how to cut deeper. First things first, you want to have your razor. You're gonna take your arm.
What the fuck?
What? You want to throw this fucking thing across the room. Why would you click on this video trying to see how to cut deeper?
I mean, she is kind of trolling. Like, she just admitted she's trolling, but I don't really know if she counts as a troll because I don't think that she knows that this is lamer than if she had actually cut her arm.
No, I agree. There's a surface level troll here, but I think overall she's trying to be genuine and is not a troll.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Layers of... You can't just call troll... I've been saying this for years, man.
This is one of those that requires like a metaphysical discussion about what it means to troll and also to be like a Samaritan.
I think in order to be a troll, you have to know you're trolling, number one, which I think she does, and you have to be somewhat successful at it. You can't be the butt of the joke if you're going to be a troll. That just seems to be the rules. You've got to redirect the attention elsewhere.
I saw a shoe in the chat, and she says not a troll also.
I don't think she's a troll. I think she's trying too hard.
All right.
Yep. Not a troll.
The not a trolls have it. All right. So here's DP action.
So when you burn it down, Anderson, what are you left with?
People are discriminating against wolves.
They're laughing at us at our stupidity.
TJ, are you with me?
Look at TJ. What a defeated man on the national news. I just want to point that out. Look at him looking at the floor. All right.
And you better well learn to love it.
All right.
What's Trump up to today?
You know what? There is Trump news, obviously, but there's also like they're gonna open up the classified JFK files.
Yeah, Thursday, man. Thursday.
Yeah.
President Trump's announcement that he will not block the pending release of classified documents relating to the assassination of President John F. Kennedy marks the largest development in recent years in the historical sleuthing that still surrounds that dark day in Dallas. Chief Washington correspondent James Rosen tells us what might yet change the president's mind and what secrets may be buried in those files.
Hours after Politico reported that President Trump will likely withhold some of the classified files relating to the Kennedy assassination that are set for release on Thursday, President Trump tweeted early Saturday morning, "Subject to the receipt of further information, I will be allowing as..."
All right, so haven't we learned that when Trump tweets something, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's true? I mean,
I would hope so.
I think we've all learned that. However, I do feel if he is going to hold off any information, it will be anything involving Ted Cruz's father. If they have anything to give, he'll hold that until the next election if Cruz is running.
Did Ted Cruz's father work for Castro or something?
It was he was like some activist down south, and then that's when the National Enquirer ran those articles that he was involved with Lee Harvey Oswald. As during the primaries, because Trump's really good friends with the owner of National Enquirer, so that guy was running propaganda for him for a bit.
Huh. Had no idea.
Yeah.
I hear National Enquirer and I think bullshit immediately. So,
If, you know what, dude, though, if Trump does actually release all this information and it reveals the fucking conspiracy that we all know took place on that day, I will take back every bad thing I've said about Trump. I will be proud to be an American on that day. Yeah, dude, I just want to know. I just want to see it, dude. I just want to know that fucking Lee Harvey Oswald didn't pull off like 3 miracle shots from an impossible vantage point. I just want to know that that's not the case. Somebody else helped, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, if there was like internal collusion, like government collusion causing that to happen, they would not release that information.
Yeah, there's no way.
The only thing I care about is I want to know if there's anything in there about the babushka lady. You seen that? They have those like top 10 photos that shouldn't exist sort of thing.
What? No.
And one of them is from that day. There's this lady wearing a babushka. She's got a camera and she's rolling, right? And she's rolling during the assassination. And then the people are like, "Oh, who the hell is this lady?" And they never found her. That's an ongoing internet thing.
From what we've seen here, she was probably in on the fucking assassination because those babushkas do not fuck around.
Yeah.
President, the long blocked and classified JFK files to be opened.
The motorcade moves into the downtown area.
Few expect the established history of November 22, 1963 to be upended if the public gains access to the 3,100 pages of assassination-related records still under seal, along with the 30,000 or so pages that have been released only in redacted form.
Yeah, there's Oswald's murder right there.
Published reports have said the Central Intelligence Agency...
That would never happen today. No gunman would be able to kill, you know, the suspected murderer of the president.
And it was a nightclub owner. Like the Jack Ruby connection has always perplexed me. Yeah, it's just very weird how that went down.
I mean, and it shouldn't have fucking happened even back then, to be honest with you. It's just another one of those big question marks that hangs over the event.
The deep state's trying to take out Kennedy and anyone associated.
Yeah, there were always a lot of mysterious guns that would show up at Kennedy family-related events that should not have made it through security or should not have made it onto the premises. The word coincidence, I think, isn't really fitting for something like that.
Agency is concerned about documents generated in the 1990s that argued against release of older files so as to protect agency operations then underway in post-Soviet Russia or Cuba.
I'm enough of an historian, I think I'd go with the release posture here, that happened long enough ago that it's unlikely to stimulate any particular immediate strong hostility between the U.S. and Russia.
Assassination researchers hope to learn more about the visit paid to Mexico City in September 1963 by Lee Harvey Oswald, the man whom history records as John F. Kennedy's sole assassin. Researchers also want to know more about this man, George Joannides, an undercover CIA officer who on the day of the assassination leaked material to the news media tying Oswald to Cuban groups. Jefferson Morley is the editor of JFKFacts.org and author of The Ghost.
JFKFacts.org. Yeah, that sounds like an unbiased source.
Sounds like something Alex Jones would run.
A new biography.
You know what? I've known a lot of Canadians, and they've told me like it's totally normal for them to like go take a vacation in Cuba. Is that true?
Yeah, there are 3 major Western nations that have good relations with Cuba. Canada and Germany are 2 of them. I don't remember the third one, but yeah, they have a huge tourism industry there, and they love Canadians.
Yeah, like here we would have to fly to Canada and then fly to Mexico and then fly to Cuba. So.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of James Jesus Angleton, the legendary Cold War CIA officer who oversaw the agency's response to the Warren Commission.
I would not agree that there's nothing in there that could change our understanding of the assassination. I think there is material in there that could do that.
Contacted by Fox News, a CIA spokesperson dismissed all questions posed, replying only that the agency continues to, quote, determine the appropriate next steps forward, Brett, with respect to any previously unreleased CIA information.
I'm willing to bet that nothing that's released will change our perception of the official story.
No, my belief is that any of the stuff that we want to know isn't going to be in those files at all. We're going to get a few interesting tidbits. We're going to be able to connect a few dots that we weren't able to connect before. But there's no way that certain things that we all saw in those videos are going to even be mentioned. I'd be even surprised, we're joking about the babushka lady, but I'd be surprised if she's even fucking mentioned, to be honest.
No, she won't be mentioned. It's one of those things that, these files are going to be released and people are going to spend months going through them. And again, a couple tidbits are going to pop up. We're probably going to see that he did act alone, that there was no deep state conspiracy, that, they're going to, if these might be doctored files, that may be a bit of a stretch to say, but that's what it's going to feel like to me.
Yeah, the next video here is about the Russian collusion probe. It's saying the end of the Russian collusion probe is not clear.
Former Democrat President Jimmy Carter says he does not think there's any evidence that Russians changed enough votes or any votes in last fall's election.
Is Jimmy Carter a vampire? Because I heard 2 years ago that he had terminal brain cancer and now he doesn't.
Did you read that in the National Enquirer?
No. I heard it on the regular news that he had some kind of brain cancer or something, and now he doesn't have it at all. And he's he's outlived a few presidents after him.
Well, only Reagan.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Bush Senior's
on the verge of death. Right. Yeah, but he's still kicking.
Yeah, it's true.
To change the result. Senior political analyst Britt Hume joins us with some thoughts on what appears to be a most unlikely political meeting of the minds. Good evening, Britt.
Hi, Brett. Well, it is interesting to hear former President Carter say that, but I think he gets at something that everything that Catherine reported may point to as well, which is that here these investigations they've been going on for the better part of a year now. The Mueller investigation, of course, is one that he took over from a previous investigator, and it's been going on for I guess now on 2 years or more. So we're way down the road here, and so far nothing has emerged that seems to point the finger definitively in any direction, and we certainly don't have anything that would say, as Jimmy Carter.
I mean, like him and Clinton almost look like they're the same age.
It's because it's all the fucking. You see, he's a pure soul. Jimmy Carter's like, I just plant peanuts and build homes. Yeah. Clinton's like, I steal children's souls.
Yeah.
All those healthy peanut oils, dude.
What was that crazy story we watched on the last episode? It was like Russia was hiring, they were hiring black activists to join fake black activist groups.
They were trolling them on Facebook.
Is that real?
Yeah, they were. It's part of the troll farm. It makes sense because they're attacking it from all sides. So while they're going against, they're building it up on Facebook with the pro-Republican side of things. They're also playing the other side.
But the thing we watched said that they actually organized self-defense groups and all kinds of.
You got to make it look real.
Yeah, well, there was a self-defense group, it was an anti-police brutality self-defense group.
So weird.
We watched this thing where they showed us that. There was another one called Black. It wasn't Black Lives Matter. It was Black Matters. It was a fake group like that. We watched it. It was like ABC News or something. They reported that, and there was all ties back to Moscow for it. So
it makes sense that they would play all sides. They were just heavily focused on trying to damage Clinton and then also bolster Trump, but they were still trying to play the other end of the identity politics part.
But it seems like now what they're doing is just trying to cause disarray
Well, that was always their intent. I don't think they wanted Trump to get elected. I think they just wanted to hurt Clinton.
Most people, there was a ton of people in our chat that were like, that's fake. I don't know. I don't know if it's fake. It seems like there's evidence that it was real.
I don't know why Jimmy Carter's getting so much heat / praise for saying this, because he's just saying the truth at this point. Like, I haven't seen any evidence, nor has anybody that I know, that Russia meddled in the election. So
I mean, it wasn't a totally unreasonable theory, but too much talk about it ended up in the news, considering how little tangible evidence there was. Trump obviously has ties to Russia, but I mean, you know, every family that has ever ran for president has tenuous ties with uncouth individuals in other nations, and I would be very, very, very surprised if Russia even managed to make a dent in Clinton. I think that Trump's supporters here in North America did a good enough job of making Clinton look like an unreasonable person to be president. And I think that, you know, it's not great that Trump is president. It's not like something to celebrate, but it was just good to see somebody as awful as Clinton not get elected. And I think in the end, that's why a lot of people voted for Clinton. I think that they just wanted a big fuck you, or they voted Trump, sorry, is because they wanted to give a big fuck you to the establishment. That's kind of the attitude I usually ended up receiving when I asked about that.
I just wish that we could have done that, defeated Clinton, because, you know, I didn't want to see her president at all, without having to fucking fall on the Trump sword. That would have been nice, but
I don't think anybody expected him to end up getting the nomination, though. He basically, I mean, he got a lot of attention in the early days of the campaign because he was such a sideshow event, and that's kind of what carried him through. And then near the end, everybody's like, "Oh shit, he actually might become president." And I don't, even though he was the most popular person, the most popular candidate in the Republican Party, I was still astonished that the Republican Party nominated him.
He beat everybody.
I'll tell you what. Well, the four of us, we covered election day for like almost 9 hours, and it started out with me and Paul. Like, we started doing it as soon as the coverage started, and the first thing we said was like, we don't think Trump's going to win. There's almost no way. And like, if you go back and watch that episode, the moment we realized Trump is about to win, we realized it like hours before they were even willing to admit it. And we were just like, there's no way Trump's going to lose now. We've counted it all. There's like impossible. But it still took them like 2 hours to admit it.
I went to the movies with my girlfriend because we were like, fuck it, Hillary's got it in the bag. We live in Oregon, or lived in Oregon, so everyone's going to vote Hillary. Figured, fuck it, we'll go see a movie. And then my phone starts blowing up, and it's my sister frantically texting me, like cursing out Florida, cursing out Jill Stein. She's like, Trump won Florida.
I voted for Jill Stein.
That's a tough thing to say in this state, man.
I don't care. That's fine. Like, I don't want to vote for Hillary, and I'll vote like I'm still pretty liberal, so I'll vote for like the more liberal candidate. And I knew she wasn't going to win. I just wanted to show that someone would vote for a third party.
Yeah.
Like, and my vote was in Ohio, so my vote actually mattered more than in most states, which is sad to say, but
that anti-Trump narrative that Skeptic was talking about, that's how he won. Like, the left held on to that all the way until election night. They never took him seriously. They were always, oh, look at him, he's a freak, oh, grab him by the pussy, he'll never be elected after saying something like that. And I just refuse to underestimate Trump anymore. I've learned my lesson. All these people saying definitively that he's not going to win a second term, whatever, your opinion is your opinion, but I mean, fucking Hillary's got an exploratory committee out there already. If they run her again, I think it's pretty fucking reasonable.
I'll vote for Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson at that point. I swear to God, I will.
I don't know if I'm sorry, go ahead, Greg.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I only made one video on Trump. I tried to stay out of the election on my videos, but the only thing that I had a problem with the way that they dismantled him, I said that you can take him down without lying about him, but the problem was that they were overreaching and lying and exaggerating so much that people were getting frustrated with the things that the left were saying about him, that they just started ignoring the left altogether.
Well, I think at the time everyone was pretty much thinking Hillary like had it in the bag. All the polls were saying she was going to win. The left was like not even worried about it at all.
It's true though. Like all of the things that Trump didn't have a political career before this, and that made it unprecedented. So there were no policy decisions they could hold against him. All they could say was that he was a racist and that he was a misogynist. He grabs pussies, all that kind of shit. So a lot of people just didn't buy into that. They couldn't point to real policy choices that he had made.
Nothing that he would have done
Nobody
had
had
an impact
ever,
on other people.
Right. So except for firing people on The Apprentice, they had an effect on those people, So
yeah, and he came in as the outsider, and that's how people saw him. And he literally could do no wrong, because what people wanted, the disgruntled left and moderate right, what they wanted was to see the DNC get shook up, and they wanted to see the Republican Party get shook up. They wanted to see the establishment get shook up. So he literally could have done no wrong. Anything he did, he came in, he could have just pissed all over everybody. He would have gotten a huge applause. He would have still been elected president at that point, because like you said, all they could do is show that he's an outsider. Everything that they ever slung at him just strengthened his resolve as the outsider, because everything they threw at him was just like nonsensical stuff, like, oh, he's not nice to women. Well, okay, sure, he's not, but does that mean he can't run a country? No, that's not.
No. Yeah, and that was the funny thing. Scotty was going to bet TJ double or nothing the night before the election. He bet, because they had a $1,000 bet, Scotty versus TJ. Scotty was betting Hillary was going to win, and TJ was for Trump. And after the grab her by the pussy thing, Scotty was so sure he was going to win that he bet him double or nothing, and TJ didn't take it, but he should have.
Should have taken it. What I love now is that when it comes to the Hillary Clinton criticism that's been popping up in the late night shows, it's all been about the two things. Like, she never campaigned in Michigan and Wisconsin. That's what they keep lording over her head, which is true. She forgot about parts of Middle America.
She lost those too.
Yeah.
They only focus on Ohio in that area and Pennsylvania, because Chicago's in the bag. Usually Wisconsin is in the bag for Democrats. Michigan is most usually liberal too, but she won Michigan though, didn't she?
Yeah, I don't remember.
I think she won Michigan. She lost Ohio and Wisconsin. Wisconsin was the really surprising one.
That was
After I've only been to Wisconsin once, and I'm not that surprised, because I'm not I haven't been all over the United States, but what I've seen is that even in blue states, there's these huge divides, and there's a lot of red voters that usually don't come out and vote, and they were all motivated to vote this time around. There's poorer sections, lower class areas. In Wisconsin, there's Milwaukee is split right down the middle. The one half of the town is beautiful and has nice homes and successful businesses. Then the other half of town, it's mostly minorities, and most of them are poor, and those are the people that were voting red. And also, one thing that people keep forgetting is that the voter turnout was not great this time around, and a lot of people that would have normally come out and voted Democrat just didn't even show up, because they were just upset with both choices that they had, so they decided not to come out at all.
Good point. I think. Do we have real numbers on the disparity between voter turnout in this last one and the one before?
I'm sure there are.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, I just don't remember.
I know.
Was it she won 65 million total popular votes?
She did win popular, yeah.
Yeah, she had the popular. She wouldn't shut up about that for about a month. But
doesn't mean shit.
Al Gore tried to play the same card when he lost.
He was fucking robbed.
He was in Florida.
He was robbed, man, hanging Chad.
Because that came up to a few amount of votes.
Yeah, it was a real small number.
This next, I guess they have a serial killer on the loose in Tampa.
Awesome. I'm not in Tampa.
Police in Tampa, Florida are not ruling out the possibility there's a serial killer on the loose in their city. Local police, with assistance from the FBI, are looking for the person or persons responsible for killing 3 people over a 10-day span in the Seminole Heights neighborhood. On October 9th, 22-year-old Benjamin Mitchell, he's on your left there, was shot waiting for a bus at a stop. October 13th, 32-year-old Monica Hoffa's body was found in a vacant lot, shot. And this week on Thursday, Anthony Naiboa, a 20-year-old mildly autistic man, was shot dead on the sidewalk about 100 yards from where one of the other victims was killed. Naiboa boarded the wrong bus and got off in the neighborhood. Now, Tampa police released this surveillance video of a person walking in the area of where the first murder happened. Interim Tampa Police Chief Brian Duggan says they are linking the murders together because of similarities. All 3 murders occurred within a half mile of each other. All 3 victims were alone when they were killed. All 3 were bus riders. Police admit, though, there is no suspect or motive yet.
Damn.
That just the image of him walking is like just remarkably frightening.
Yeah, he's a murderer, man.
Dude, that might not have even been the guy that did it. This might have been
It's
3
true. I'm just saying that
murders.
It's possible. I mean, they'd have to connect it with ballistics, and that's how they'd connect it. So
I think that image of him walking is frightening because of how many images they had of a dude that was just walking down the fucking street. Like, how often are we on camera in public now?
A lot.
Probably way more than we're not.
Well, that was like when we were at VidCon, and I thought to myself, if anything ever happens here, there's going to be like, so many thousand video clips of it because everyone's recording all the time, and that's just the world we live in now.
Yeah, that's the scary shit for me.
But see, when they say when they look at a story like this and they say suspect in 3 murders, but they don't release any information that could possibly connect them together, at least like to tell the public that it might be a connection, I always get a little bit suspicious. It's like they're grasping at straws.
Yeah. I don't know. Like 3 murders in one night, all within a half mile of one another. That's pretty crazy even for Florida.
Well, no, it was 3 murders over the span of 10 days within a half mile of each other.
Oh, I thought it was one night.
No, that would have been a spree killer. Yeah, that would have been a spree killer. And we would have seen, that's like an Elliot Rodgers level shit right there. But if it's a person just shooting people getting off the bus, then you start reviewing all of the bus camera footage to see if anything comes up,
Yeah. Where did Benjamin go? Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
We don't know if this is one individual. We don't know the color.
Oh, he's just stating the obvious. Never mind. We're moving to the next one. So, director James Toback accused of sexual harassment. So they're working their way down now.
Well, this story is interesting. This is crazy. This guy is fucking sick if these things are true.
I mean, there's a good chance.
In the wake of the Harvey Weinstein scandal, new allegations against a famous movie director. The Los Angeles Times reporting James Toback has been accused of sexually harassing more than 30 women over the last 3 decades. Toback behind such movies as Bugsy and The Pickup Artist, the latest in an explosion of claims from one industry to another. Here's ABC's Eva Pilgrim.
Tonight, a new bombshell. Hollywood director James Toback now...
Look at that beard.
Oh, I know.
Oh,
Man,
God.
the line beard. Like, why even have it?
It's a fake jawline. He's trying to, pencil on a jawline is basically what he's doing.
Why are all these sexual assaulters look like TJ but with a melting face?
I don't know. Because I think, big, powerful Hollywood producers, the only job a guy that looks like that can have and, repeatedly, serially harass women.
being accused by at least 38 women of sexual harassment and
God.
assault.
Paul
The LA Times.
Paul Giamatti's going to play him in the fucking movie. You see that last picture? Look just like Paul Giamatti with a fat face.
Yeah,
that's what's going to happen.
They're gonna make him jog for a few minutes before every scene too, so he's got that nice sweatiness about him.
Speaking to women who say he approached them in an array of places, New York City Central Park, in line at a bank, or even at a copy center. Some accusers claim Toback, who wrote the 1991 film Bugsy, would use the film as a pickup line.
Let me guess. I'll bet Esther lives her life faithful to her one and only Ben, who plays around like a jackrabbit on the side and lies about it through his teeth.
Others claiming he would brag about actors he worked with, like Robert Downey Jr.
Every woman that I've ever liked or communed with or given great satisfaction to always started off as a complete stranger.
Echo Dannon, who acted in Toback's black and white movie, tweeting, "If you were involved in the film business in the 90s, you knew that hashtag Harvey Weinstein was a sexual predator." Another one was hashtag James Toback. Toback denies the allegation, saying for the last 22 years, it has been biologically impossible.
Does that mean he can't get it up?
I think that's what he's saying.
Either that or his wiener got bit off by a stray dog or something while he was walking around chasing a bitch down the street with his pants around his ankles.
Well, but have you heard the explanation of what he's done? Like the allegations say that he'll get on his knees and he'll dry hump their leg, right? And then he'll say, "Just pinch my nipples and I can come," or he'll just dry hump his leg until he comes, like comes in his khakis. Like that was some stuff I was reading today. So it's just the weirdest shit. Yeah, he just like one chick he pulled aside in Central Park apparently and humped her leg till he came in his pants. So it's I got no idea, like biologically impossible. I mean, if he can't get an erection, can he still like make it work by just viciously rubbing? I don't know, man. I don't know
if you can limp noodle it. I don't know. I've never.
I mean, like anything is possible biologically, but this is like when you hear these cases, like Harvey Weinstein, like, you know, the massages and like the jerking off in a ficus. You're like, oh, okay. And then this guy's like, nah, I got you beat, bitch. I don't get got to be touched to come in my pants.
Due to diabetes and a heart condition.
John Besh's. So he's saying he can't keep it up. His blood flow is
tonight. The wave of sexual harassment allegations expanding.
Check it out. First, we're going to start with our cast iron pot. High heat.
New Orleans celebrity chef John Besh now accused of allowing a toxic culture in his restaurants, from the kitchens to the front offices. Female employees speaking out, one writing in a complaint filed with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission that she was sexually harassed and verbally assaulted almost every day. Another woman claiming Besh continued to attempt to coerce her to submit to his sexual overtures. Anthony Bourdain tweeting, "The beginning of the end of institutionalized meathead culture in the restaurant business." Besh responding to the claims, admitting to having a consensual relationship with one member of my team, saying, "I have been seeking to rebuild my marriage and come to terms with my reckless actions." Sexual harassment allegations now hitting Wall Street.
Now. Yeah. Any kind of celebrity, like once this story dies, another one's going to come out. It's just never going to end. The Weinstein shit broke open the floodgates on this shit.
And it's turning, I mean, I don't know if it's a witch hunt per se. I'm not saying like their allegations aren't true, but it's like I've been saying, is all it's going to take is one of these accusations to be completely proven false for it to destroy all the momentum it's built. And we're going to get to that point because it's just going to work its way down until someone just makes some shit up. Look at this NeoGAF thing going on. You know, even that's been called into question in the aftermath of it. So, yeah, it's unfortunate that this kind of culture exists. But, like, how do you stop it? That's the real question.
I mean, I guess this is one way. Drag everybody that does it out in front of the public eye and shame them and fire them.
Next video, Gold Star Widow speaks about phone call with Trump. So now they're actually interviewing the woman that had the phone call with Trump.
Yay.
We're going to move on now to our exclusive interview with Maisha Johnson, the widow of Sergeant LaDavid Johnson, one of 4 Special Forces troops killed in that deadly ambush in Niger. He was laid to rest over the weekend.
I've never heard it called Niger before this. I always called it Niger.
I think they're trying to say Niger in order to like not have anyone slip and pull a PewDiePie.
Yeah.
I think that's what's happening right now.
Yeah, it's the Uranus of nations for sure.
Uranus.
Weekend after a final kiss from Maisha, and I sat down with her earlier this morning just before we came on the air. And we are joined now by the widow of Sergeant Johnson, Maisha Johnson. Maisha, thank you for coming in this morning. I hope you're feeling the prayers and thoughts.
I hope you're feeling the prayers.
I hope you're feeling the exploitation as we try desperately to get something to fucking stick to Trump. How are you doing?
This guy used to be Clinton's press secretary.
Yeah.
They're just they really think this one's gonna fucking get legs, don't they? This is gonna be the one,
No.
man.
If Trump saying he grabs people by the pussy doesn't get anything, nothing else will. I'm just honest. Like,
Well, it's okay. To be fair, though, with that grabbing the pussy thing, there is that extra line afterward that I think does hold some weight, which is and they let you.
well, and then also he does the like, if I see a beautiful woman, I just kiss her. I just start kissing her. She just lets me because I'm famous.
I move on her like a bitch.
Yeah,
I can't
yeah.
do a Trump voice, but that's like what he said.
Yeah. If he can get away with that, I mean, it doesn't matter. He can call a widow of a fallen soldier and be like, he knew what he signed up for. I mean, people will defend that and be like, he did. So,
I think like it's such a weird thing because it's like Paul said, they are trying to grab anything they can. If policy isn't working, then it's going to go for the emotional heartstrings of a fallen soldier because they're going to use they're tying this in with the whole kneeling situation. That's the left's playback from that one. It's like, oh, fallen soldiers is why you stand for the national anthem. Well, here's his widow, and Trump didn't even know his name. What a fucking monster.
These days, policy doesn't even play. They go straight to the emotional bullshit because most of America couldn't give a fuck less about policy. They want to hear the fucking soap opera. It's over, man. Bring on the nukes.
Oh yeah, pulling out a grieving widow is like an ace for sure. The opening line, I hope you're feeling the thoughts and the prayers. That's like translation. I hope you're enjoying the 15 minutes we're giving you.
Yeah, absolutely. The only thing I'm getting out of this still here is, man, I want some Bubba Gump shrimp.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I'm like, man, the fucking $12 shrimp cocktail sounds good right now.
Of all of us.
Yes.
You know, it was so clear watching the funeral how loved and respected LaDavid was by his family, his friends, his community, his fellow soldiers. What do you want people to know about him?
It's so weird, like, because so many soldiers you could say the same thing about, but you guys don't do in-depth news stories about those soldiers, and I wonder why, man. I wonder why.
It's true.
Well, I want the world to know how great of a soldier my husband was, and a loving and caring father and husband he was to our family.
You knew him since you were 6, huh?
Yes, sir.
Well, she has braces.
And I also know you have a lot of questions about what happened.
Yes.
In Niger.
Yes.
What's at the top of your mind?
Why is she smirking so much?
She's not smirking. She's going back to she's remembering what they told her to ask.
Oh,
because you
okay.
can see. Okay, so if you just look at this,
So
here,
she's coached.
She's totally coached here. Look at her posture. Look at her outfit. Look at her makeup. Look at the fact she's got the dog tags. So she's got a picture of him pinned right there. But also below what we see right there at a wide shot, you can see it jangling back and forth. So it's drawing your eye to the dog tag.
Is she getting paid?
Oh, she's most definitely being paid. Like this is such a staged event right now. It's insane to watch. It's pure propaganda.
Yeah, I look at her sitting across the table from George Stephanopoulos, and now I realize how small he actually is because she looks like she's probably like 4 inches taller than him. Just sitting.
You remember
next to him.
pictures of him and Clinton walking together and shit? Like he's like 3 apples high, dude. He's a tiny little dude.
He's a Smurf.
He's an Oompa Loompa.
Yeah.
The questions that I have that I need answered is, I want to know why it took them 48 hours to find my husband. Why couldn't I see my husband? Every time I asked to see my husband, they wouldn't let me.
What did they tell you?
Probably because he had a big hole blown through him or something. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they didn't want you to see him while he was all mutilated. I don't know what happened to him. But, I mean, they don't have to show him right away. I don't know if that's an actual expectation.
Who knows?
I don't know.
They'll tell me that he's in a severe rap. Like, I won't be able to see him. I need to see him so I will know that is my husband. I don't know nothing. They won't show me a finger, a hand. I know my husband.
How'd you know from a finger?
Body from head to toe. And they won't let me see anything. I don't know what's in that box. It could be empty for all I know. But I need to see my husband. I haven't seen him since he came home.
And what have they told you about what happened in Africa?
So she's saying she still hasn't seen him?
Hasn't confirmed the body. Yeah.
So she is like now saying maybe it's not even him?
She's casting doubt that it may not be even him.
I've never heard this before.
There was a suggestion that's a verbal suggestion for sure that she thinks that they're hiding something at very least, that he may or may not even be in the box.
Has Alex Jones covered this yet? Because this is right up his alley.
Yeah, it is.
Exactly.
I really don't know the answers to that one neither, because when they came to my house, they just told me that it was a massive gunfire and my husband, as of October 4th, was missing. They didn't know his whereabouts. They didn't know where he was or where to find him.
So is she implying that she thinks he might still be alive and like on the run somewhere, and they're just trying to bury an empty coffin to get rid of it so they don't have to?
Yeah, that's somewhat what she's implying right there.
I don't know why not just declare him MIA. Where's the shame in admitting that a soldier ran off?
Well, because we're right now in the midst of the Bull Bergdahl situation. He pled guilty the other day, and they're now working on his sentencing, and so that would then be another huge controversy in regards to that. Because he came back in 2014 is when Obama traded for him. So, that I could see that being a factor.
Days later is when they told me that he went from missing to killed in action. I don't know how he got killed, where he got killed, or anything. I don't know that part. They never told me, and that's what I've been trying to find out since day one, since October 4th.
Are you confident you're going to get the answers you need?
If I keep pushing for him, I will.
And they just say they don't know?
He looks like a little kid. I'm sorry for pointing this out, but he just looks like a little kid.
They won't tell me. They won't tell me anything. I don't know anything.
They should get a normal-sized news anchor and have him sit down and have Stephanopoulos sit on his lap like a little kid. Like swing his legs.
There are also a lot of questions about the phone call you received from President Trump. I know you were in a car to the airport. Tell us what happened next.
Me and my family was in the...
All right, I'm done with this. All right, here's a 8th child reported killed by recalled IKEA dresser. So IKEA makes these dressers, and now the 8th kid has died from dresser malfunctions.
The recall dangers in American homes. Do you know what products are putting your family at risk?
See that shit?
Wow.
It's like an avalanche.
Not to miss the next recall. Here's ABC's Marcy Gonzalez.
This 2-year-old killed, crushed by a dresser that fell on top of him. Joseph Dudek's family says they had no idea that piece of bedroom furniture was recalled nearly a year earlier. IKEA issuing that recall in 2016 after at least 7 other deaths.
He was the light of our lives.
All linked to dress.
Yeah, this is the 8th one.
What is this, like fucking their toddler crusher line? Like, what is this?
Look at this. Look at this lab experiment.
There's this like discount IKEA sort of brand, and instead of doing this recall shit, they openly know that their furniture is shit, so they give you wall anchors for everything. So they expect you to drill everything into the wall because they know it will fall.
That's crazy.
Dressers like this one toppling onto children.
We do not think that IKEA is doing nearly enough.
IKEA telling ABC News the recall offered consumers a choice of several remedies, which are still available today and which we have communicated via our website through social media and email campaigns. But with some families still unaware of recalls from IKEA and other brands, some now question whether more can be done.
Companies need to spend the same time, energy, and money that they spend to sell us products to get them out of our homes once they're found to be dangerous.
Experts say check consumer safety protection websites for recalls. Also register items when you buy them.
That little white card that comes with any big ticket purchase, send it back to the manufacturer, because if there's ever a recall, they will alert you.
And another tip, before you buy items secondhand, check to make sure they haven't been recalled. Tom?
Marcy, thank you.
What the fuck?
Okay, so I heard this story yesterday, and my girlfriend and I got a dresser from Babies R Us because our daughter will be born in 2 months. So we're getting the room together, and I'm sitting there going like, all right, I'm fucking checking. Like, is this thing recall? Like, are we good? The thing weighs like 100 pounds, so it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, I was pulling on it. I was tugging on it yesterday.
I mean, like, that's a terrible feeling. You're just trying to save a couple bucks shopping at IKEA and it ends up killing your kid. Like, what?
Only go there for the meatballs.
Yeah, the horse meatballs.
I want a couple of these, dude. I want a couple of these toddler crushers because I don't want. What? I want to protect my fucking socks and my underwear from toddlers that might fucking come wandering by. Yeah, with an umlaut over the O, dude. Because it's all IKEA.
Right. Yeah, I think they're like, what, are they Swedish?
Yeah, they're Swedish.
Yeah. And they were serving like horse meatballs and people got mad. I don't know. I went to Europe and I ate horse there and it was pretty delicious actually. So
I guess
what can you do?
Beats going to the glue factory.
I didn't know I was eating horse and they were like, oh, that's horse. I'm like, okay, well, whatever. I wouldn't have done it on purpose, but it just kind of happened that way. What else do we have? Oh, God. This is a story that enrages me. Here it is.
A lot to feast your eyes on in the new CBS series, Star Trek Discovery.
Fan?
You will see,
I'm liking it.
Yeah, for me, everybody knows.
Discovery?
You'll see many familiar symbols, names, and props, and that includes familiar faces, like the Klingons, of course. They have been in every television adaptation of Star Trek since 1966.
And here are the masterminds behind the reimagining.
These are the guys that designed the new Klingons. What, you like it?
No, okay. I like the show. I think the Klingons are like the worst part of the show because it does look pretty shitty in terms of their makeup and like they talk at like half speed.
Yeah, they're justifying it in that this isn't like a normal group of Klingons from like this is like a very specific ancient order where, you know, they have a slightly different religion from the Klingons that you see in the other shows. It's just a lame excuse to change the Klingons into something just god fucking awful.
Oh, yeah, I agree. It is unbelievably terrible. I'm sorry.
I like the show. I like the show. It's got some problems though.
There's I'm not one of those fans. It's like, don't change my show or whatever. But there are so many stylistic choices, and so many choices in general with this Discovery show that shows that the creators of it really just wanted to take the word Star Trek and put it on the screen, and then put whatever they wanted behind that label. There's no callbacks or no real good callbacks to the original. The fans were promised that the show would follow the prime timeline, the original television timeline, and they fell back on a lot of the promises like that. There's a lot of just ignoring what made Star Trek good and ignoring the fans, and that's a problem that I'm noticing with a lot of modern media, is that they take something good and then they turn it into something bad, and then they shit on all the people who came to the new thing because they liked the old one, and they pretend like the original fans weren't what made it fucking popular.
Yeah,
Ghostbusters.
I mean, like Star Wars.
Powerpuff Girls too. A lot of those series of just what they've aped. They've taken the name and turned it into something that the original fans would never like.
Klingons for Star Trek Discovery, makeup and
these
design
are the
experts
designers.
Glenn Hetrick and Neville Page.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for joining us. So I guess the first thing I have to say is, what is this? Like, we can't ignore this thing sitting on the desk, right?
It's the periscope helmet that the Klingons wear on the sarcophagus ship. It's basically a HUD helmet that...
And they use...
Sarcophagus ship?
Yeah. The ship armors itself in the coffins of their dead.
Well, they even said though, like in the first episode when that came up, that it's not actual armor; it's just ceremonial. It's just meant to be for like the aesthetic of it, and keeping with the religion. Isn't
that the Kalis religion?
It's like whatever this Takuvma guy was, the dude, the guy, the prophet from the first.
No. Kalis is the Jesus of the Klingons. That's the religion of the Klingons.
This is a new teaching.
They're not Klingons. Teaching. Why did they have to call them Klingons? They could have called them anything else.
I was just going to ask that. Why didn't they make this some other race? Or why didn't they say that, like, it's the same difference between, like, the Romulans and the Vulcans, where they're, like, related? Why can't it be, like, an offshoot, like a genetic offshoot of the Klingons instead of being, like, a religious offshoot of the Klingons? They've they're taking a word that people know what Klingon means, and then they're putting something completely different behind that word.
These should have been the Cuckons,
Trump supporters.
The Cuckons.
The Cuckons.
Allows them to navigate their vessel.
And one of the things that we were intrigued by, it looks like...
I mean, like, these guys, I'm sure they're, like, good artists and everything. I'm not going to take anything away from them, but it's just ridiculous that this is Klingons. I mean, and I don't want to sound like a total fucking hipster, but the Orville is better.
Oh, the Orville's fucking fantastic, dude.
The Orville is Star Trek. Okay.
With dick jokes.
With you know what? It didn't even need that though. I don't know if this is true, but I heard that Seth MacFarlane did pitch a Star Trek to Paramount and they didn't take it.
I know that he was on Star Trek Enterprise. He had a guest star role, and that's where he met Brandon Braga. And then they teamed up when they pitched this idea to Fox. I think it was always meant to be this pitch to Fox.
I thought he had pitched it to CBS.
Given his power at Fox with all the shows, I'm sure he went there first.
Okay.
Like because they want to make it, clearly a parody of Star Trek. That was a problem with the marketing of the Orville, was they were like, oh, man, it's like a total like half-hour Star Trek parody. And then you start watching, you're like, man, they're tackling some pretty hardcore issues.
Yeah, it is Star Trek to me. And even the way it's shot and the music and everything is Star Trek to me. Anyway.
Why is this designer dude like dressed up like he's leaving in Mad Max's car to go to his home in the fucking wasteland somewhere?
I don't know. His beard and then that neck tattoo just bother me.
Like, I don't know why he needs hand armor. I don't, the beard and the neck tattoo, whatever. Yeah, but why do you need the hand armor for? What's gonna happen when you go to CBS?
Greg, you wear bracers. What's the reason for this? I've seen you wear bracers. What's the reason?
Yeah.
Oh, to deflect sword blows, obviously.
There we go.
It's a stupid question, Matt.
All right, before we move on, we have to do the obligatory Streamlabs segment for 10 minutes. If you have questions for PaulsEgo, MundaneMatt, or Armoured Skeptic, feel free to send them in. Or if you just want to spurge out, which is probably what's going to happen anyway. Feel free to send them in. They'll show up on the screen, and we will read them. And for the people that complain about this, it's because YouTube took away our ad revenue. We never had to do this before.
They've taken away everyone's ad revenue.
Yeah. So, like, when you post a video, does it automatically get the yellow question mark? Because we get that, and I have to dispute it every time. Oh, the question for you all: are you goat or are you fish? This is goat fish.
Goat versus fish?
Yeah, goat versus fish.
Okay. I guess I'd be closer. I'm closer to a goat, right? Biologically.
Yeah.
So
I'm leaning goat myself.
Is it greatest of all time? Is that the thing? I don't know. I guess I'm goat.
I don't know.
All of my favorite cis white heteronormative male scum on the screen at once. Fuck the Kirks. Love you guys. Wow.
Oh, thanks, Spectacular.
Damn. Scam situation. So did you see Andy Worski's rap video?
Yeah, I saw it.
Here, Paul.
Holy shit. I don't want to read this, man. I don't want them to cut this up. And
No. Go ahead and read it, Paul. Please.
I am such a cum slut for your slut, Ben. I want you to pull my hair so hard that my eyes retract into my skull. Blood shits out my mouth, and you fuck my sockets. Oh shit! I didn't get it all. Not for $5, Elizabeth. Not for $5. I would take a big old butt rip for like, I don't know, 20 times that.
You heard it, folks. $100. Ass vape.
Yep. Big old butt rip, dude.
What are the other chats doing? Oh, there's some super chats and shit in there too. What do you? Oh.
Situation.
Matt, I love you, but Discovery is such garbage. Have you seen Star Trek Deep Space Nine, the best series?
I'm sorry, I preferred Babylon 5.
What? I don't know. I don't. You know what though? I did like Babylon 5, but I don't.
I
agree.
preferred it. Dude. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the hell out of Quark, but DS9 bored me to tears. It just did. I liked Bab 5 a lot better.
Damn.
DS9 was fine from season 3 until the second last season, and then they blew their load too early, and then they ended with like the Dominion War. It looked like it was going to happen. Then the very first episode of the next season, it's all about Worf's sad feelings, and he's sad all the time. And that's
Oh, sorry for interrupting, Greg. Someone's asking what the next movie you'll review on your movie channel is.
June and I are actually going to review the Star Wars prequels. I think that's our next review.
Yeah, didn't you get her to watch Star Wars like for the first time in her life? Jesus.
Yeah.
I feel bad that she waited that long in her life to see those. I saw that video when you guys did that, and I'm all like, damn, I feel bad for her.
Somebody says, nice video today, Matt. High five, Skep.
Thank you.
There you go.
Anita Sarkeesian, hoop earrings, and cultural appropriation. Yay.
Did you have to like talk her into watching it, or was she like generally interested?
I don't really have to talk her into doing anything. I just say she does it.
Well,
no,
there you go.
She was interested. I'm less interested in the prequels, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun making fun of the prequels together.
Yeah, I remember being so excited when Phantom Menace came out, and then watching it after like the second like yippee happened. I was like, what?
I saw that movie twice in the first day it came out. I was 17. I loved it. Watched it again recently, and I'm like,
When is the Oslo meetup? Sorry, never. You'll probably have to come to London or Amsterdam, honestly. Those are like the two places in Europe we've had meetups before. So that's mainly what we're going to have. But thanks for the $70. Holy shit. And why did it come in as... Oh.
Thanks to the DP fan base, the term $3 theater has lost all meaning to me. Whenever MundaneMatt comes up, that's the first thing that comes to my mind. And just type out on reflex, hashtag $3 theater. That was a big thing in the community for a long time. $3 theater was the thing to say.
Turn off that pesky ad block.
Turn off that pesky ad block. Yeah, it's fucking hell, man. Like the $3 theater thing, I don't even get it. All of a sudden, I jump on Discord, and a whole bunch of your fans started actually teaching me Discord, and then it turned into this whole thing with $3 theater as a meme.
Yep. First, IKEA went after Paul, and I said nothing. Then IKEA went after 2-year-olds, and I got pissed. Yeah. Time for the IKEA. Yes. Send all those toddler crushers to me, and I'll dispose of them properly. I'm also protecting myself against dwarves with that technology as well, which is something that most people don't do. Skeptic, have you done a video on your collectible figures? I see some Iron Men. Hot toys?
Yeah, I haven't. I was actually I originally started collecting these because of my movie review channel. I had this like vision of having all these like collectibles behind me when I talked about movies, and then that kind of disappeared. But yeah, I could do a review of this shit.
You have like War Machine, like the different incarnations of Iron Man.
Yeah, I'm totally addicted to Iron Man. Actually, I've got this whole display you see here is just Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2 above me, and then I've only got one from Iron Man 3 behind me somewhere. But yeah, I'm addicted to Iron Man.
Are you excited that the kid from Iron Man 3 is going to be in Avengers 4? That was just announced.
The Great Absurdity of 1994. I don't know what that is, but thank you for your contribution.
That was the year Pulp Fiction came out.
By the way, guys, don't forget that on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, is the debate between Razor Fist and Kyle Kalinske. And we've already come up with the questions that we're going to ask them. It should be a good one. Don't miss it. That's episode 399.
That's going to be a fun one.
It should be. Actually, Kyle didn't even know who Razor Fist was. Why wouldn't you make these new Klingons something akin to the Romulans or to Vulcans? Yeah, he said... Greg said the same thing. He already said that. 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, and then we're going to move on.
Scam situation.
Yo, what it do, Drunken Peasants, Armored Skeptic? What happened to the horse that was in the live action segments of your vids sometimes? And what did you do before YouTube? Can't hear you, dude.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, before I did YouTube, I worked for local government. I did a bunch of different jobs, everything from driving bus to working at City Hall. And that was actually, I used to ride a horse, but I ended up selling him when I moved into this tiny apartment to do YouTube videos.
Hey, Paul, read this message.
Nope. I got something in my...
read this message, Paul.
I got a hairball.
Oh, damn, it's gone now.
Oh, shucks.
That's a reference to a great movie.
Scam situation.
One of you did not choose goat or fish. You are a fence sitter. Oh.
I like fish. I think it'd be cool to be able to breathe underwater and have that, like that world and all that depth. Unless you're in like a little bowl or something.
Dude, it would just be cold and dark and dangerous, dude.
It wouldn't feel cold. It wouldn't feel cold, though. You wouldn't feel cold. No, you're a fish, dude. You wouldn't feel cold.
No, it's true. Fish don't have pain receptors, but they also are not self-aware. So I'm not sure I would pick that.
I don't know about being a goat, though. People are just going to milk you or like chop you up and eat you eventually.
Sounds like you're a Hollywood movie producer. First they milk you.
If we're talking about prison, though, I don't want to be a fish.
Watching that guy in the third panel talk about Discovery was like watching someone defend Bethesda in front of a group of Fallout fans.
I could defend.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a Fallout shirt and I could defend Bethesda. So there we go.
30 seconds and I'm going to shut it off and we're going to move on.
Yeah, I can't really weigh in on the Discovery shit because I haven't seen it. I love you, Matt, but holy fucking hell, you have shit taste and everything. What the fuck, bro?
Hey man. Okay. Listen, I spent fucking 14
Adam Sandler
years.
movies.
I spent 14 years working in movie theaters, as well as also living in LA and working in the industry. I've watched a lot of shit, so my threshold is very low.
All right, so that is the signal that it's time to wrap this up. I'm going to check if there's any in the pipeline. Yeah, here we go. There's a few left, and then we're going to move on.
Welcome back to the show, Armored Skeptic. You're still my dad.
Thanks, President of Sauce.
Yeah, there's like 4 left.
I'm really glad you guys invited me along to this MundaneMatt roast.
Not the first time.
You showed up in person, too.
I drove the mileage to come in person to get talked shit to. It's all good.
Situation.
How it go, Drunken Peasants. Y'all are swell, but TJ is not a cool guy. Damn.
That is some hardcore roasting, Benjamin Martin.
Wow.
Tell me more.
Toasted forever.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'll tell you what, since TJ's not here, I took it upon myself to come up with a wonderful cutting the fat segment. And I actually think I'm just going to do it next. And I hope TJ's watching.
I was a very social Bernie Stein supporter. I essentially lost all my friends in my small pro-Hillary hometown. Now hates me, even though I'm way more to the left than them. Feels bad, man, but I guess that's why you don't talk politics. Yeah, kind of.
That's so fucked up because I got shit from, like, other like more liberal people because I voted for Jill. Like people I know that are conservative didn't really give a fuck that I voted for like a third party.
I had a friend of mine who I've known since 4th grade unfriend me on Facebook because I didn't condemn Trump on something. Like, that's how crazy it got. So, yeah, fuck politics.
Down now. All right, I'm shutting it down. Sorry if your shit got missed. There's a delay and everything. All right, so we're going to move it on here. Yeah, and I'm just going to do... This is a segment where we just rip on TJ, actually. It's called Cutting the Fat. Here it is. So TJ, he used to, back in the early days of YouTube, used to write almost like high school level cringy ass poetry and put it on the internet. See, like Cutting the Fat. No. Yeah. And it used to be, Cutting the Fat used to be a segment where we ripped on TJ and Paul, but honestly, Paul doesn't have as many cringy videos out there. I mean, like we played... We've played almost all of them. There's like almost nothing left. And like his cringiest videos were his first YouTube videos. So, but
yeah,
I think everyone's shitty videos are like that.
Yeah. So here's TJ. Here's TJ. I think he's improvising this.
I'm falling short of my goal of a poem a day for a year.
I don't know why it's frozen.
I don't even have one written right now. I'm just going to make one up off the top of my head.
All right.
He looks like
I rape you every day in my head.
Okay.
Just right out the gate.
I rape you every day.
I see you walking down my streets made of gold. And I want to take a knife and jam it into your chest and pull it like a lever to make you fall down. I want to watch your guts spill onto the asphalt, and I want to play in them like a bird frolicking among bird seeds.
Wow.
Oh my God.
This song we played at his trial.
I know.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
It's better with the frozen image.
And I want to eat them. And I want to crawl inside your chest cavity and build a little fort and put up a sign that says no girls allowed.
Is he talking about a tauntaun? What the fuck?
I don't know. Oh, all right.
I want to play xylophone on your ribs like they do in the cartoons. And I want to sustain myself on your blood. I want to become your stomach and survive on what you eat.
I think he just wants to be a fetus.
I want to be your little baby inside you.
You're right! You're right! Holy shit! You called it! Wow! That was
a good
amazing.
Call.
That's what I want to do.
Greg,
That's what I want to do.
You fucking bitch.
That's what I would do, you fucking bitch.
The end.
Oh,
okay.
Wow.
Okay, we can't unsee that.
Nope.
All right, so
You have a little fetus inside of you.
I
dude,
know!
Surviving on what you eat.
you totally picked up on that. That was crazy. I didn't see it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's a funny joke." And then he said it. I'd be a baby inside of you, fucking bitch.
Freud would say that TJ has dependency issues.
That's a good guess.
All right, so I apologize to everyone but Paul for the next segment.
Individual situation. Check out the beautiful asshole.
The individual Brett Keane segment situation.
All right, the next video is called Atheist Man Dies Jerking Off During Live Show.
Whoa.
Yep.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brett Keane from GodTVRadio.com. Make sure you connect with me on Twitter. And also you can subscribe to me on my Patreon website as well as my website, GodTVRadio.com.
So, Greg, TJ was inspired by Brett Keane to make his channel. I'm guessing you were too, right?
Indirectly, yes.
That's funny. It probably is true, though. He actually did start that whole atheist video thing, at least.
I got into YouTube way past the atheist side of shit.
Oh, okay.
So that was never my bag.
He was the first big one back in the day when 20,000 subscribers was a lot.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yesterday I was doing some discussions on some religious forums on Facebook with some non-believers and such. And we were talking about the meaning and the purpose of life. People were asking me, Brett, do you think that if a person does this or does this, will they go to heaven, yada, yada, yada? And I've always answered them the same.
I see Brett Keane has not improved his format at all.
No. He's a Christian now.
He's been exactly this for 10 years now.
Yep.
Way. I'm not God. I have no idea what God is willing to forgive and what he's not. According to the Bible, it seems like it's pretty broad range on what God's willing to forgive us for because he loves us.
He's taking a drink really quick.
When I go to YouTube and I look around at videos, I notice that there's so many people out there who are just completely and utterly fake. You can see those thumbnails.
Isn't this supposed to be about a dude dying while he's jerking off?
Yeah, clickbait title.
Silly, stupid ass faces they normally wouldn't do in real life or public. Anything to clickbait.
Shut up, Brett. You have the most clickbaitiest titles and thumbnails ever. Yeah. Who are you to tell what other people can do in their thumbnails?
Your attention, get you to look at them, feed their narcissism and such.
Next video is going to be Atheist Armored Skeptic slanders Christian Brett Keane. It'll be the next one.
It will probably happen because he's watching right now.
But people have to act completely like clowns in order to do shit. So while I was on Facebook doing my thing, somebody said, Brett, did you see this? Did you see what this atheist did? And they gave me the video. I had no idea what I was about to watch, but apparently what I was given was an old atheist, homosexual, decided that he was going to get on a live camera.
Why does it matter that he was homosexual?
And how do we know
that's sinful?
Does it even say he's an atheist or homosexual?
Yeah, why?
Well, it says 69-year-old married man had a heart attack live on camera.
Was he literally blaspheming God while he was jerking it? Why does it matter that he's an atheist?
Yeah, he was denying the Holy Spirit as he blew his load. So he's he's done.
Someone made a Brett Keane soundboard, and a lot of the clips on it are just him breathing and like here's one, and there's like this.
People pull his clothes off and then jack off in front of a live audience.
Oh, God.
While he was doing this, apparently he had a heart attack and died right in the fucking chair that he was stroking his carrot on. The people just sat there and watched him. The guy laid back in his chair, completely and utterly fucked. And perfectly healthy to look at other people's ding-dongs.
I mean, why is this even a bad thing? Dude was 69 years old. He died doing what he loved. You know, Godspeed to him. He lived a good life.
I guess my question is, though, did he finish, or was it just like mid-stroke?
Yeah, I think he worked himself up too much.
See, that's the unfortunate thing right there. Like, if he would have finished and then died, I'm like, yeah, he died doing what he loved, but that's just being robbed. That's like, if you go to heaven or hell or purgatory and you're you were the moment you died, he's going to be walking around for eternity with an erection, and that's got to suck.
Eternal blue balls, dude.
Yeah. And instead of people doing anything about it, they just sat there and watched this guy. You've got a man who is dead in a fucking chair with his hand wrapped around a stick.
Something tells me he let go of his dick.
It wasn't
More than
until
likely.
like almost an hour later or more, one of these non-believers, homosexuals, decided that they were going to contact the police and let them know that this fucking poor, embarrassingly humiliated bastard who died in front of a live audience. Finally, the people came in and they did something.
I just hope that like Dorn uploads
And I got
Brett's final video when he dies, making some stupid video about some stupid, boring bullshit that nobody cares about. That'll just complete the arc for me.
to thinking to myself, man, I would fucking hate to die that way. I would hate to die in an embarrassing, humiliating type of way.
There you go, Paul.
You know, I'm not one of these type of guys. I didn't join religion or open my faith to God because I'm afraid of heaven or hell. I'm not even concerned about the dying part. It's something I learned to accept long ago. The thing that bothers me about death is who you leave behind and have you made an impact on the planet. I've always liked the idea that if I'm going to die, I want to die going out with a bang.
This
and when
is
I say
legitimately the deepest thing I've ever heard him say.
Yeah.
Did you make a positive impact on the planet?
He didn't.
No one will
Who
ever
is
use
this
that
man all
term
of a
to
sudden?
describe
Yeah.
Brett Keane.
Oh,
bang, I
man.
mean doing something positive that contributes to society.
Oh no, Brett
I don't know how-
Keane. No. No.
Yes.
No. Can you honestly say that what you do is positive for society?
Oh yeah, he's serving society,
Oh,
laying on his
no.
belly in a wife beater on a mattress, complaining about shit that he'll never influence. Yep.
People get it
He's
in
going to be sure that when he dies with his cock in his hand, the camera will be off when it happens.
Yeah.
their mind that the way to entertain or the way to be interesting or the only way they can make a video is if they're edgy.
Dark Matter is in the chat, and he said his only positive impact on the planet would be if his parachute didn't open.
Yeah.
So,
Or if they do something that is completely fucking stupid or terrible to do. But this guy did. He somehow managed to, in his darkest or brightest hour, decided that jerking off in front of thousands of people would be the intelligent thing to do.
Hold on, wait. This guy had thousands of people watching him jerk off.
yeah, holy shit.
Like, that is an accomplishment. I don't
I
give
agree.
a fuck
Yeah.
what you're doing. That's an accomplishment right there.
Yeah, I don't think even the most popular nightly cam girls get that many views.
No.
Yeah, 90% of this shit is not like he just from what we can see on the screen here. He was 69 years old. He was married, and he was in a camp. We don't know that he was gay or that it was a gay cam show.
No,
We have no fucking idea what was going on.
it says he was masturbating to LGBT material, but I mean, girl on girl, that's LGBT.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
Yeah.
So
Two
That's how
girls,
I'm
one
gonna
guy.
die.
Same thing.
it just sounds like what has happened is Brett has just discovered what camming is, and he's just offended at the concept of it, and the fact that the guy died doing it is just like it's just making him realize that he himself has to make some life choices, I think.
yeah,
Wait till
I
Brett
mean,
figures out that people make money doing it.
Oh man.
Oh, God.
Well, I mean,
Get
if
the
he had,
Brett Cam show,
if
dude.
that guy had thousands of people watching, he was making some decent coin, that's for sure.
Yeah.
yeah, like Brett claims anyone that he doesn't like is an atheist. I haven't seen anything to like even suggest that this person was an athist, so or a homosexual.
He just like jerking off on camera. I mean,
Yeah.
That can apply to pretty much anybody.
Here's we're gonna move on. Goodbye, Brett. Yeah, interesting talking about you. Yeah, crazy people. That's Devin Tracy.
I love that Roosh was there.
Yeah. Here's Tommy Sotomayor with his title belt.
Wow.
Yeah.
What the fuck, man?
That gets people every time, too. All right. Alex Jones takes credit for Trump's releasing JFK files. So you owe it all to Alex.
Pinching myself here that we got the E. Howard Hunt deathbed video confession. George Norrie, his great courage, he premiered the audio confession.
George Norrie, the host of Coast to Coast AM, which is like a paranormal based late night radio talk show.
Which, by the way, might I add that it was a show. Like he knew, and many people knew that most of the people calling in were bullshit artists. But
that was kind of the point.
It was fun. It was just for fun. And I mean, they would bring up serious issues and stuff, but they never intended on making an actual impact.
You're talking about Coast to Coast?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I used to listen, but like just for fun.
We've had Howard Bloom on our show a few times. He's a friend of TJ's, and he's been a regular guest on Coast to Coast several times. But that's when they're covering things like music industry things.
Okay.
Like he used to be Michael Jackson's manager, so when Michael Jackson died, they had him on and that kind of thing. He doesn't normally cover the weird, like, paranormal, alien, Area 51 shit.
When I used to run my drive-in, we had a security guard pick us up every night, take us to the bank, and my guard was this dude who loved Coast to Coast. So he would come in at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and just start talking about, like, the hole to hell in Tunisia and all of this crazy governmental shit. And it was fun as hell to listen to, but just, like, this is not real.
Nope.
Oh, no, I'm totally into that conspiracy theory stuff. I mean, there's a certain level I like Alex Jones as well, but I can only go like half a day at most, like actually buying into this shit, and then my greater reason usually kicks in. But
I just like that in our society and in Western society in general, there's a group of people out there always assuming the worst, because every once in a while they're going to be right. You know what I mean? Even if it's
some people reckon. You remember when Alex Jones came to Seattle and he was running down the road and this guy like threw water on him? Some people recognized that guy and said he's like some indie wrestling guy. And I did notice that the guy was wearing like a WWE shirt, like in the video. So I'm pretty sure that guy was like a plant, and that was all.
Oh no. He was definitely goofing. It was obvious. Alex was trying to play it off like the guy was like demonically possessed or something.
Yeah.
It was just the guy was clearly just goofing on him.
Yeah. They may have even like sat down and planned out that segment.
I wouldn't
together.
be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Alex Jones is hardly a saint. Anytime that something like that happens, you can assume it's a plant. It's I mean, there's very little that Alex Jones does that's entirely genuine. In fact, some of the more serious issues that he talks about, he kind of discredits them just by talking about them because of like he always takes it too far, or he always brings up the most fringe, nonsensical theories behind the incidents.
First, I got it the next day. All of this, Roger Stone getting a lot of the witnesses to talk first. I mean, we're here instrumental in lobbying the president who made the right decision with great courage to release it. It's happening, people. And you're seeing it in 2017. Roger, you got the floor. Get into E. Howard Hunt, the history, the real facts, the fact that this is solved, and whether they black it all out or not, this is just round one. People ask, why wouldn't they shred it all? Because they keep this stuff for blackmail. Explain.
The crazy thing is 12, 13 years ago, this was a crazy public access show, and now it's looked at like it's news. That's
exactly. This was on the same level as Coast to Coast. This was entertainment, and there was actually this one incident. I don't know what year it was, but Alex Jones basically had a whole bunch of people in Texas running for the hills, and that was basically the night that he realized that he had a bigger impact than.
Oh, was that the whole fucking the whole war game scenario from a couple years ago? Jade Helm. Yeah, like that was just a war game scenario, and they had everyone thinking it was like some FEMA death camp taking over, making the frogs gay sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's horrible shit. But yeah, you're right, Greg. You're right.
Not the folks.
I mean, like the news media itself is to blame for Alex Jones being popular, because they're the ones that decided that news was going to be angry people yelling at each other and unresearched, unverified stories and shit. And Alex Jones was just smart enough to come along and realize that he could just make shit up and call it news, and that's what he does.
But man, so many people believe him. Like so many fucking
I
people.
know.
It's so crazy. I criticize Paul Joseph Watson on Twitter all the time. People are like, no, but he's more true than CNN. Like, whatever, man. Like,
Yeah, Fox News unfortunately had a pretty big hand in Alex Jones getting credibility. Glenn Beck specifically, because they were trying to compare him with Glenn Beck, say that they're essentially the same thing. And Glenn Beck was kind of a pioneer of the infotainment age, and Alex Jones was always kind of doing the infotainment thing, except that it was more attainment and less info. And now he has a bigger audience than some major news corporations, and he is using that to get more attention as opposed to actually getting more information spread.
I also blame Jesse Ventura a little bit, because there was I don't know if you guys remember the show Conspiracy Theory that he did.
Yeah, you know what though? I like Jesse a lot, and I would vote for it. I would have voted for him in the last election.
A lot of people would actually.
Yeah,
but he had Alex Jones on frequently on a show.
True.
I like Jesse, but Jesse had some pretty fucking ridiculous shows. He had an episode on reptilian shapeshifters, and his son was on the show too, and his son was selling it like it was a legitimate thing. He's like, I think I saw her eyes change. It's like, this is a crazy woman who just wants attention, and you're pretending that story about being a reptilian shapeshifter is legitimate. And then they took a psychic out into a random field, and the psychic's like, oh, I feel them all around me.
Well, I also want to let you know that he also did commentary on Hulk Hogan versus the Ultimate Warrior back at WrestleMania 6. So there you go.
Well, it's funny. Greg, it's funny you mentioned his son. I was at my friend's birthday party in Burbank right before I left LA, and he was there. His son was there, and like,
they both work for RT now.
Total fucking weird dude, right? So like, he shows up, he's got like a pompadour and like, got a velvet suit on, and we're talking. I'm like, wait, who the fuck is this guy? My friend's like, oh, that's Jesse Ventura's kid. And I walk over and I'm like, hey, so do you work on fucking Conspiracy Theory? He's like, oh yeah, I'm on there all the time now. It's great, and he believes everything that they fucking say. It was just one of the.
I think he learned from his dad what it's like to do the 24-hour kayfabe. Honestly.
Either he was on coke or something.
I was just going to mention kayfabe because a lot. I mean, there's he's a wrestler's son, so you got to assume that he's doing a little bit of the kayfabe. Because
what is that?
Honestly,
I don't know what that is.
He was
kayfabe. Sorry.
It's like, do you know the Trailer Park Boys?
I know of them. I've never watched it.
Kayfabe is like carny talk for like fake or like worked.
It's basically you become your character inside and outside of the ring. You are that character.
Like
so that
when
Andy Warhol died, he was a heel, and then all of the heroes had to pretend that they were glad he was dead, even though they all missed him. That's kayfabe.
Okay.
Yeah, like kayfabe because wrestling used to pass itself off as a real sport.
I remember that. I was in Portland in the 80s,
and
man.
It got to the point where like they had to like get licensing in every state that they went to like with athletic commissions and everything. So like kayfabe was like you didn't even like even if you were friends, if you were a good guy and your best friend was a bad guy, you never got seen in public with that person. 24 hours a day, you were like living the character in public.
Maybe he was. It was a one-time encounter. It was very odd. And it's entirely possible that he was in that role all the time. So my friend knew some weird fucking people, so who knows?
We're going to move on. Here's the next video. This is a cultural appropriation video. Apparently this person goes and gets pissed at white people acting like natives because this person's a native.
Hair, like stylish clothes you wear. It's just the little things you do. What?
I want to ask you about cultural appropriation.
Oh.
Like, what the fuck happened the other day at the park?
Okay, at the park. I got to the park. We get down there and there's a bunch of non-native people, mostly white people, singing their own version of how they think natives sing. And I just kind of watched them for a bit.
Hey, what the fuck are y'all doing? Hey, what the fuck are y'all doing?
My heart's beating. I'm really angry. So I started to ask questions. I said, whose drum is this? They pointed me in the direction of the guy that brought it. Where are you from?
Take a turn?
No, I don't. Are you Native American?
No.
You're not. You know what you're doing is disrespectful. You're mocking Native Americans right now. It's all just made up. The guy just...
Let the hippies beat their drums, man. What the fuck? They're just crazy old hippies. They're just beating the drums.
Yeah, like, whatever, like, he can laugh at them and be like, yeah, they're fucking posers, but, like, he doesn't have to be like, oh, well, you're disrespecting me, man. You know?
Yeah, I think if I showed up and I saw a spectacle like this, I would just laugh. Like, this is cringy. This is disrespect. Sure, it's disrespectful, but it's just funny. It's just funny. It's a bunch of hippies thinking that they're doing something meaningful and they're making total asses of themselves.
Paul did this shit as a kid.
Yeah, dude, I totally am desensitized to this shit because I grew up and I was in the fucking Indian Guides, which was just a bunch of white. It's like kind of like the Boy Scouts, but with an Indian theme. So like a bunch of white people with headdresses and drums and shit. Fucking like whatever.
And what was your Indian name again?
Thundercloud, dude.
That's awesome.
I was Thundercloud. My dad was Stormcloud. My mom was Raincloud. My sister was Rainbow.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's a Native American style drum now. He said the Scottish have drums, Africans have drums. What if I went to a Black Lives Matter protest and dressed in African garb and did my version of drumming and African singing?
Well, here he's doing it.
I wouldn't care. Yeah, and you're doing it to make a point here. You've done everything but go stand at a fucking Black Lives Matter rally and do it. Either way, I don't
hope
give
he
a
really
shit.
does that.
Whoa, is this a troll? He's doing like clicking and shit.
I don't know.
My titties are getting crushed. How are we gonna get this off? What if I went to the same rally? I used Jewish culture.
All right, this is a troll. Dude, he's passing out money. This dude is a troll.
Yeah.
I mean, like, look at him.
This is just a this is just a comedy routine. Like he's getting that this is funny. This is funny. You can make fun of this. Acting like, I mean, you can be offended if you want to be offended, but you clearly are not actually offended. You just are using this as a way to make somebody laugh.
I agree. Troll.
Yep.
There we go.
That was a secret troller, not a troll.
It was.
We are witnesses to the most ruthless attack on a president and the people who voted for him, and the free system that allowed it to happen in American history. From the highest levels of government to their media, universities, and billionaires, their hateful defiance of his legitimacy is an insult to each of us. But the ultimate insult is that they think we're so stupid that we'll let them get away with it. These saboteurs slashing away with their leaks and sneers, their phony accusations and gagging sanctimony, drive their daggers through the heart of our future, poisoning our belief that honest custody of our institutions will ever again be possible. So they can then build their utopia from the ashes
This is the
of what they
NRA, right? It's the NRA, isn't it?
What the?
This is the fucking NRA ad.
It's a propaganda commercial.
Oh,
I believe
my
it's
God.
I believe it's an NRA commercial.
Yeah,
actually,
I recognize the background of the chick talking.
burn down. No, their fate will be failure, and they will perish in the political flames of their own fires.
Are you sure this isn't like Scientology or something?
No,
What the
yeah,
fuck
I was
is
thinking that too, man. It sounds like Scientology, but this is the NRA, the new Scientology.
Oh my God, this is scary.
We are the National Rifle.
I don't know why the audio's out of sync. Yeah.
Association of America.
National Rifle
and
Association.
we are freedom's safest place.
See, but no, this is coming out now post fucking Vegas.
Guns are a religion.
Yeah.
See, this is why I'm for gun control, because this is how the fucking NRA makes gun like it's some kind of fucking like you're fighting the power or something by arming yourself to the teeth. It's retarded.
I understand the spirit of the Second Amendment is that, you know, you want to give your citizens the ability to fight against tyranny, like giving them the sense that they're not stuck underneath the heel of whatever government they end up voting in. That makes sense. But that's literally all the NRA ever fucking talks about. Like, it's going to happen tomorrow. We need our guns now because it's going to happen tomorrow.
I got to be honest, in the modern world, that interpretation of the Second Amendment doesn't even really make sense anymore, because tyranny has tanks and helicopters and shit that we're not allowed to have.
It's the drones.
The drones, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I mean,
you'll be dead before you even knew anybody pointed anything at you now.
Yep.
I mean, was it during the Obama administration, the National Rifle Association was sitting there like always saying, Obama's coming for your guns.
Yeah,
and then gun
they
sales
ran
shot
out
up.
of ammo.
Well, they ran out of ammo. That was a big conspiracy in San Diego at the time, because they were saying, oh, FEMA was coming and buying all the bullets. And that was a weird thing. But when Trump got elected, when the inauguration happened, gun sales plummeted. They plummeted because there was no boogeyman. But now that Vegas happened, they're running that boogeyman again. That's where this shit's coming from. They want to push those sales because, you're going to come take our guns.
Well, whenever a tragedy happens, it depends on who's in charge. So if, if a liberal's in charge or liberal government majority, then when a tragedy happens, they go gun control, gun control, gun control. And then, but when a Republican's in charge, I mean, the liberals will still cry gun control, but usually what ends up happening is security. Think like 9/11. There was the Patriot Act and the Homeland Security Act. Usually what happens when a Republican's in charge is gun sales go up, gun control goes down, and security goes up. Freedoms go away. So it's a lot of the people that are in this gun religion, they say that they want their guns because they want their freedom, but they're totally willing to give their freedoms up to keep those guns. It's like a total oxymoron.
Yeah, I think it just has more to do with the fantasy that they're going to somehow defend their family from some kind of fucking government incursion.
Well, I'd like to think that we're allowed to have guns in Canada. I don't have a gun. It's harder to get them up here, but we have, I think, more guns than people up here. I mean, there's a lot of guns up here. It's a gun-loving country, but I mean, we don't have like a protect your family culture here. I would certainly like the security of knowing that I had a gun on me if something were to happen, but it's unrealistic to base your entire life on a maybe like that, like something that would never happen to most people.
I think a lot of them have this romantic idea of being like, Rambo. Yeah. When the situation breaks out, that they're the one that kills the bad guy and they're the hero.
Some of the people in the chat were calling me out saying, well, that's why, America had such a hard time against Vietnam or in Afghanistan, it's militias. I don't doubt that. I doubt your average card-carrying NRA folk have the ability to band together to form anything like a coherent militia without shooting themselves first. Like, they'll be shooting at each other just as much as they're shooting at the fucking government. I just don't see that happening in America. So I would say like
the militias in like Michigan and whatever, those are the guys that I would legitimately worry about.
Just drop a nuke on Michigan anyway.
Well, that's pretty much fucking totaled as it is. So, just viscerate the mitten, give the top part back to Wisconsin, and let it go.
Yeah, the UP. Actually, I think we should just give the top part to Ohio. I think we've earned both of it. That's the true victory of the Toledo Wars. We'll take back the Upper Peninsula. We'll give the Lower Peninsula to Ontario if they want it. But that's it. And you know what? I want Pelee Island too, which is also part of Ontario that's in Lake Erie. We'll take that too.
So that's your trade?
Yes.
Okay.
They get Michigan for an island? That sounds like a shitty trade.
No, but they make,
have you ever been to Michigan?
Good wine on that. They make good wine on that island.
On Pelee, oh dude, I've been to Pelee Island multiple times. Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
it's a nice place. But no, they get Michigan over an island. No, I'll take the island. Michigan with their contaminated water and shit. Yeah, Ontario can have that. They can fix it.
Oh, Toronto's there, so let's not get too far ahead of ourselves here.
Like Detroit, the worst city, one of the worst cities in Michigan, is just like right across like a small river from Canada. It's so weird because they're totally different, but they're so close to each other. The drinking age there is 19, so we used to go up there to drink like when we turned 19. So
somebody in the chat says, I love how people think this is even an argument, like you have any say over whether I can own a gun. You don't and you never will. Don't like it? Come take it by force. You'll need a gun. It's like, what? Who are these people that are just like come on, dude. Nobody's going to take your gun, okay?
I think that gun regulation, when people hear that word, they think that it means government's coming to take your gun. That's not what regulation means. What that means is that very, very simple processes are put into place just to make sure that people who shouldn't, objectively should not have access to guns don't get them, and people who are incapable of handling a gun can't get them.
Why don't we start with not selling them in big tents out in the country where nobody does background checks? Let's start there.
But let's
just
say,
no more gun show. No more gun show.
Well, no,
loophole.
I believe that.
Get rid of that.
Hasn't that loophole been closed for years? Like, it's
no.
I keep hearing that it's been closed, but
no. But let's say they're right. Let's say the government comes to take their guns. Couldn't they just send a fucking drone to blow up your house if they wanted to?
Well, yeah.
To
that's
stop
the point,
you.
They're so horribly overmatched. They're so but the idea of a government wanting to vaporize so much of its population just to get its hand on guns is kind of ridiculous. Exactly. So it's never gonna fucking happen, and that's what bothers me about this type of NRA bullshit and the type of gun nut bullshit I just read out of our chat. It's not backed by any sort of rational thought. Hoarding guns is not backed by any sort of rational thought. You are never going to have to protect your family from the fucking government in America. It's just not going to happen.
Here's a weird video. It's man confronts me about drone in public field. So this guy's flying a drone at a park or something, and this guy comes over calling him a pedo for flying a drone over where there happens to be kids playing soccer or something.
That's the go-to insult these days.
Yeah.
As long as we're not filming. I'm not taking pictures of them, but this is a public place, so. I know. I'm saying, you know what? I've worked with drones, and they're all cool and stuff like that. I just want to make sure. Okay. Oh, are you filming me? Yes. That's great. I mean no disrespect by that, but I've been confronted before. I'm a hobbyist. Okay, just don't fly it over kids. I'm not flying over kids. It's windy, is it not? I'm not flying anywhere near the kids. Close. I'm not flying anywhere near the kids. Okay, let me film you. Okay. Filming me. So tell me, okay, if you want to film.
What's going on in this dude's life? That, he's got time to fucking just go mess with a dude flying a drone in the park.
This reminds me of a much more interesting video of when drones were pretty new. There was a hobbyist that was flying them over a beach, and if you look at the footage he was taking, the people were ants in the video, but some woman caught him doing it and tackled him to the ground and held him on the ground until the police got there because she was so sure that he was perving on the people at the beach. And yeah, it's just overreaction.
She got arrested for that. She got arrested for that too. Because she had grabbed him and scratched him.
She wasn't formally charged, though, I don't think.
I think not. I know. So I remember she was arrested, though. The articles were talking about that.
That's crazy.
I'm not playing games, sir. So tell me, you're not filming. You have a camera on there, but you're not filming. I am filming. Are you filming the kids' practice? They might incidentally be on my camera in a public place. Yes. A little girls' soccer team. You might incidentally be filming. Yes, sir. Oh, that's great. Is there a crime that I've committed? You know what? As a father, I don't like people recording kids' practices. I'm not recording their practice. I find it creepy. I'm not recording their practice. Well, you were hovering over their practice. And what's the crime that I've committed? I don't know.
I don't know.
Exactly.
Call the cops, sir. That's all I would say. Exactly. Call the cops.
Exactly. And you don't know. You don't know. I don't like my daughter being filmed.
I'm not filming your daughter.
Oh, but you
just as much as I might be taking pictures right now, and your daughter incidentally gets on my camera, so be it. If there's a crime committed, you know, feel free to call the police.
Oh, okay. Well, just keep it away from there so it doesn't accidentally with the wind.
I would never fly close to them. You've seen my whole flight. It's been over this area.
It was over there, dude. I saw it.
I recorded the whole thing. I have GPS logs too.
Oh, great. All right. Well, hey,
oh, great. You've got everything you need to disprove my entire narrative. Okay. All right.
Like, what is happening at this soccer game that he doesn't want to be filming?
I don't know. Apparently, he thinks it's like something all the pedophiles in town want to go watch.
Let's be realistic. This is really like he's really anti Bruce Belichick. Okay, he doesn't want the Patriots were filming the plays of the other team. That's
I see.
A joke. It's a bad
some
joke.
Other women tennis.
Damn.
You want to film them?
Why are you accusing me of being a pedophile?
I'm not accusing you of being a pedophile.
That's what you're implying.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Just because I fly model aircraft?
No. It's a girls' practice that's over there.
Well, so what?
Look there's tons of room.
Yeah, and that's why I'm over here minding my own business. I'm not anywhere near their practice. Okay. So do not accuse me of being a pedophile because I'm fly model aircraft.
I found it odd that you were hovering over there. You have all
I was not hovering over there. I have the GPS logs.
They were just watching you, and
I have GPS logs.
I just want him to fly his model aircraft into the car with this guy and shred him with the blades of it.
I think we all can agree, though, that this guy confronting this drone pilot is far more interesting than watching girls practice soccer.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I've got this, and then he fucks off for a while.
Just stay away from my daughter's booty, okay? I don't want you filming her.
Nowhere near them. I fly a safe distance away. I'm an Academy of Model Aeronautics member. I abide by all the rules.
For your credentials.
Yes.
I've worked with them, and I know sometimes they're unstable.
Okay.
Sometimes they fall. I don't want you filming above the kids.
I am not filming above them.
Well, it looks like you have a great hobby, and yeah, just keep on doing what you're doing. I think it's really great.
What?
What? Why are you still here?
This soft-bodied individual, his worry that his children are being filmed or that young children are being filmed it's very telling. He might be just very paranoid, or he might be impressing his own biases on this guy. But
yeah,
I think that it's pretty obvious that he knows he's got nothing on this guy. He's nervous that somebody with a camera is near his daughter. I can understand that he's upset. I understand that he's worried, but this is escalated way too far at this point.
Kids, if that's what you're into, if that's what you're.
Are we done?
Huh?
Are we done?
No, I'll stay here.
What?
I'll watch you.
Okay.
I'm really interested.
Okay.
There's all this land, but yet you're pointing.
Go back to your daughter's.
There's all this land, and I'm flying over in my little corner.
Okay, look at this kid's drone. Look at this kid's drone. This is not a pedophile drone. This is a professional, high-quality drone. Somebody doesn't buy a drone this high quality to get creep shots. This is like an enthusiast's drone.
Yeah, this is. I come here to take pictures.
It looked like a nice one.
Yeah.
Of the scenery. This is a wide open field. It's perfect for model aircraft.
Dude, listen, I work with those in the commercial industry.
Okay, doing what?
I've done stuff in the mountains and everything.
Oh, okay.
He's like a Best Buy Geek Squad employee.
Were you filming children in the mountains?
Yeah.
Is that why you think that this guy is filming children?
You listen to me, buddy. I've worked with these things, okay, in the industry. I've done things in the mountains, okay? I've done things on beaches that would make you fucking sick with these things, okay?
I know
what
they can do. I know what they can do. Whose bedrooms have you peeped into, sir?
All right, next video. Street fight between group of Russian women.
Шестой раз повторяю. Вот эти парни слышали при мне 5 раз, блядь. Я к мамке пошла, я сказала, блядь.
Не, ребят, вы до этого от меня давайте. Ребят.
Ты хуёво встал, смотри, когда отпел.
Хук слева. Справа.
Не похуй, блядь, дай мне серию. Сказал, я курить хочу. Стоять!
Whoa.
Сказал, стоять, блядь.
Alcohol abuse.
Dude, babushkas, dude.
Yeah. Someone sent this to me as like babushka fight. Damn.
You half expect them to kiss at this point.
Like, if these are real babushkas, this is not going to stop until one of them is dead.
That bottle's going to go over somebody's head.
Here's we can only get so much out of that. Here's a drunk guy at a store thinking that his reflection is someone else.
No.
Whoa!
Oh my god. This is Russia too, I take it.
What the fuck, dude?
This is the highest quality video I've ever seen come out of Russia.
It's like, why is this guy fucking with me, man? Every time I try and go. He's like a dog. You ever seen a dog get freaked out?
Yeah.
Like barking at all of the mirror?
Holy shit.
All right. Another favorite segment.
Feminist. Slam poetry. Hissing. Screeching. Squawking. Fuck you to all the men. I am blaming you.
This is my favorite segment, dude. Feminist slam poetry.
Yeah, I knew.
New York City got a lot of well-kept secrets. Ones that haven't been publicized for reasons beyond explanation, like our girls, our Brooklyn, Bronx City girls. They got hip-hop heartbeats that thump like cement blocks, brownstone beautiful right down to the cuticle. In the suburbs of Long Island, 15-year-old Annie Donahue goes missing. In 49 minutes, her FBI agents, police officers, and special investigators searching the whole county and state. They search high and low to find out that she was just in her basement with her headphones on and music too loud to hear anyone call for her. I wish my cousin's music was just too loud. I wish she was just playing Helen Keller instead of sitting with the killer. 19-year-old black Julianne Palmer left her apartment building.
So they only care about white missing people.
Well, that's the contention here.
It's pretty accurate, actually. There's a thing called missing white girl syndrome or something. It was an article on Something Awful a long time ago, and it talks about how like Danielle Van Damme and a few other cases of these blonde white girls or women that have gone missing, and it literally shut down the world until you found their body or people just gave up.
Sporting sweats and a t-shirt to go to the bodega, and she is seen getting got on Malcolm X Boulevard in Brooklyn. Cops didn't arrive for 9 hours after being harassed, and when they got there, her mother was wailing herself into a river of lost child, and they had the nerve to look her right in the eye and say, well, hasn't been 48 hours yet. We really can't do nothing.
Once again, like Ben's old criticism of like, this is not a poem at this point. At this point, you're just telling the story of what happened to your cousins.
Yeah.
How is this an art form?
This is yelling into a microphone. We do that on YouTube all the time.
Yeah, apparently, though, like, they fill auditoriums or something. Well, they never show the crowds in these videos. I have to wonder how many people actually go to these things.
And I love that in order to make her point about, under coverage of minority disappearances and murders and shit, she has to shit all over the little white girl that was killed. Like it's still a little kid that was killed. Why are all the little black girls that get killed, like, why do they have hip hop souls and hearts that beat like cement blocks? But little Becky down in her fucking basement with her parents had money and her headphones, like, It's still a little kid that died. What do you have to shit on a little kid that died to bring more attention to a little kid that died?
No, you don't
Well, no,
understand.
she
It's
was
less
alive.
tragic if the parents kill her. No, yeah, what they're saying is she was alive in this scenario.
Yeah. But I get your point, Paul. I get your point.
Nothing about it. Why is it okay for the girls who look like me, live like me, and who look like me, live like me, and walk like me to go milk carton missing? To get no TV play or special investigators, young women like me are getting taken and trafficked off of the streets of New York City, and no one is doing anything about it because the people with the power to change things go, oh, she lived on Pelham in the Bronx? Well, I've seen how those black and Latina girls dress themselves over there. She just must have been asking for it by wearing something tight and raunchy. At this young age, we are just trying to find ourselves. Who the fuck would ask to go missing, to get snatched up, trafficked into a midtown pile-up? They think young women like me are getting taken and trafficked because of what we wear, but we are getting taken and raped because there are takers and rapists, and it is not our fault.
Wow.
Was there a poem in that?
No, yeah, this is a poem.
I mean, like, it's okay. Interesting. She's got passion. I give her credit.
How often do you hear about them like sending out, you know, the FBI to investigate a white girl that they just end up finding in her basement? I can't remember.
It takes time for the FBI to get involved.
Well, yeah, but even so, I haven't heard that story. You know, like, I don't know. I'm not saying it's never happened, but
it depends on the scenario. It depends oftentimes too, like on how much publicity a story gets. Like there was that 3-year-old girl that went missing out back of her place. Like the adopted father sent her out at 3:00 in the morning to stand by a tree, and she went missing for like 2 weeks. And they just found her body yesterday, and he's been, I think, arrested. Not for killing her, but for like basically just abandoning her. But the FBI got involved on that one. So I mean, if a missing case comes in, a missing case is a federal crime, and so at that point it becomes the FBI's investigation. So it, you know, what she's talking about is the publicity, the popularity of a story like that happening in the Bronx. Like, and I get what she's saying there because you don't hear much about that. But in a city with 12 million people, how the fuck are you going to keep up with everyone going missing?
True.
Yeah, that's there's a class disparity there though. I mean, she's right that certain people will get, you know, attention faster, but usually it's like well-known people in the community. If it's a girl that the community knows well, you know, then they're going to be like the whole community is going to be demanding. So I mean, it is tragic that there are girls in the inner city that disappear and the police don't do anything about it right away. And that's more of a cultural thing, though. That's not like a police thing, because the police are responding to what the community is demanding.
I'm sorry. There's also the tax, like, you know, neighborhoods that pay higher tax rates tend to have. And you're right, Greg. It's a class thing, but there is also like another part of it too. That's all.
All right, so I think we've got everything out of this that we possibly can. We're going to go into the final Streamlabs segment, 10 minutes on the clock, and then we're going to wrap it up. Send in your questions, your comments.
Man, white people are fucking awful, man. God, we suck.
I know. I cry about it.
God, all of you suck, because I've never had a genetic test. I might be a proud Native American. I don't know.
No. You don't normally see Native Americans with a beard like that. So
I'm the first.
Yeah.
I always like to joke around with that when people go like the Native American thing. I'm all like, yeah, man, like I'm not American Indian, but I'm definitely Native American. I was born here.
Favorite directors?
Stanley Kubrick. Fucking love him.
Yep.
And
P.T. Anderson is one of mine.
James Gunn.
James Gunn is good.
I like David Lynch.
David Lynch is awesome.
He's a weird guy, but yeah.
You ever been to the town where they filmed Twin Peaks is like right near here.
Seriously?
Yeah. I went there. I went to the diner where they used to film like the diner scenes and stuff. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Damn, Ben, you're riding a Sibian on episode 400 while you suck on Ryby's yummy lady balls?
Okay, what part of me is riding the Sibian? My butt? Like,
yeah, dude.
I don't know.
That's a phrase I haven't heard in a long goddamn time.
Sibian?
Sibian. I haven't. Remember when that was all the rage?
That's been a meme here, like
Okay.
for like the last year. Is
I
that
don't watch every
Ryby?
episode, so-
Ryby is going to ride the Sibian on episode 400, which is
coming up pretty.
2
quick.
episodes from now. It's not going to happen. You got to give her a few more years before she moves into straight up porn. She's doing the foot thing right now. It's kind of like getting into a pool. You know, you put your foot in first and like, you know, kind of let it like get the temperature
Is that what's
right.
happening with? Is that what's happening with Repzion?
Maybe.
I can't believe he sold his socks or his underwear or something, right? Like
It was
Hey,
something
Ben,
to do
how-
with feet.
Hey Ben, how did you like my tryout video? Pretty great, huh? I haven't watched any of the tryout videos yet. I'm waiting until the end of the month to watch them. If you still want to get yours in, send them in. But I stopped promoting it because we got a ton of them. And just to let you know that when you send us a video, it becomes our property. So we can be like American Idol and show like the worst auditions and goof on them as much as we want. And then eventually the good ones will have the people vote on those.
Cool.
Yeah.
So while I've got the two of you other guys here, you can say it. Nobody's gonna judge you for it. You hate the Kekistanis, right? Secretly, you hate this Kekistani shit. You hate this frog bullshit. These stupid frogs.
Have you
I
seen
wouldn't
the
say-
most famous photo, dude? I'm right there, right next to the flag, man. Kickstand.
Yeah,
No,
I
I'm
wouldn't.
kidding.
I wouldn't say I hate it. I have an aversion to the flag just because it is a spoof of a Nazi flag, and people are dumb, and people don't understand memes out in real life. They don't translate, and it's like it's born of 4chan. One of the rules of 4chan is don't bring 4chan into the real world, and it's kind of like breaking one of 4chan's most sacred rules.
Yeah, I have
In this
nothing against
world-
the whole thing. I think it's funny.
I think it's
In this-
funny. It's funny.
I don't know, man. The funny wore off for me. In this world is the destiny of. Oh fuck! I missed that one.
Look, the fact that the Kekistani flag ended up on an MSNBC broadcast for hate symbols made me just laugh my ass
Give me
off.
your Commies Canada Day, but that's July 1st.
No, it's Canada Daddy.
Oh,
Canada Daddy, dude.
Oh, is that what it says?
Yeah. Why hashtag Alberta? That's like the Texas of Canada.
Yeah. Yeah, it's in the mountain. It's almost like the New Mexico of Canada because they have the
It's even
stampede
worse.
and all that shit. Yeah. And they live in the mountains. It is a lot like New Mexico because like New Mexico has the rodeo and they have the mountains and all that shit.
I have never been, so I'll have to go there.
It's like one of the most isolated states with like just miles of nothing.
Oh, you're talking about New Mexico?
Yes.
Oh, I've driven through New Mexico a couple
Yeah.
times. Yeah, I drove right the fuck through it.
Yeah.
There's that person would love to come on the podcast one day. And,
Of course.
Has been
Who
a
doesn't?
fan for a long time.
Of course.
Scam situation.
Tell us something we don't know. Oh, Ryby, fuck you guys. What? Yes, you are. You're putting your foot in to test the waters. How is that a bad analogy?
Hey, Ryby.
That's a good analogy.
It worked.
Yeah.
At many levels. Or many depths.
Yeah. It's funny, Ryby's more comfortable with like making foot porn than she is like leaving her house. So
It's probably typical.
well, she has agoraphobia. It's interesting. 4.5 minutes left. If you want to get your questions in. People come. Oh, here it is.
Hey, boys, keep up the good work. Thank you.
Thank
Bull
you.
Turret. Yeah, I don't want to oppress the Kekistanis, chat. I'm not trying to oppress anybody. I just want you to keep your keks and your pepes and your peepees in your home. You know what I mean?
So, on
Don't spill it out onto us.
On Friday's show, JF has already agreed to come on, and
Scam situation.
Jeff Holiday wants to talk to JF. Apparently, they have a beef. So,
Oh, shit.
yeah.
I nominate Tila Tequila for Crazy People and recommend Karen Girl Writes What as a great potential guest.
Tila Tequila would make a great crazy person, but picking what video to make fun of would be the hard thing.
Yeah, she's a hardcore conspiracy theorist, right?
Yeah, she's full on flat earther, like all the way.
The last video of hers I saw was her as a homemade porno of her and another chick. So that's my Tila Tequila experience.
Yep.
You know what? I like the truth movement and everything. Like a lot of good stuff has come from it, but people like that just totally make the entire movement look ridiculous.
Well, I mean, she didn't make a name for herself like being extremely intelligent or anything, you know?
No.
So.
No. Yeah, well, very few of these flat Earth truthers end up coming from academia. If that's what you're getting at.
Yeah. Do you guys know about Dick Masterson? Because we didn't know who Dick Masterson was, and he agreed to come on our show.
The name sounds familiar.
Do you know who Maddox is?
Yeah. I know
Okay,
Maddox.
he used to co-host. What's up, Shu? See, now we can say Shu's been on our show before. People can stop.
She did that fucking snake hand thing that only chicks can do. That was awesome.
June just ordered some takeout. That was them calling. Don't worry, baby.
Wiggity.
Your pita's coming up.
I hit a record and left the house 3 times yesterday. Good for you.
Congrats.
Robbie.
So is agoraphobia the one that's usually mischaracterized? It's less about leaving the house and more about being afraid of wide open spaces.
I think that's
I'm
it.
not
'Cause
sure.
She said she's better off in the woods or something. But the thing is, she lives in Arizona where there are no woods, really. Unless you're like up in the mountains or something. Everything's just like...
Lots of cactus
Yeah.
and sand.
So I think that's the truth. What I want her to do is go out into the middle of a field and pitch a tent and sleep there overnight. Do that, Ryby.
Live stream it for charity or something. Can I survive a night in the field?
Put a
Neo
GoPro
guy
on those dirty fucking feet, too. Those dirty camping feet. I want to see those disgusting
Ferocious Fuhr. Some reason I can't donate on Streamlabs. I was just wondering if you guys will have any more Coolsville shirts available. Yeah, you know what? They're always available. But maybe we should launch a campaign again and do the thing where people can send us photos of them wearing the shirts to kind of get them back out there. But you can always buy them. They're always on sale. It's just they have to sell so many before they get shipped out. So we're about to wrap it up, guys. Thanks for watching it. Thanks, Paul, Armored Skeptic, MundaneMatt. And we'll see you guys on Wednesday with the debate between Kyle Kalinske and Razor Fist. Good night.
All right. Good night, everybody. Thanks.
Good night. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Fun.